today's episode, we are partnering with, honestly, one of our faves, protecting your eyes, Blue Blocks.
A modern day hero.
Modern day hero.
Do you think they have a blue cape?
Probably.
Oh, for sure. Guys, if you think blue light isn't a real thing, y'all are wrong. Blue light is real. Blue light damages your eyes and leads to digital eye strain. Symptoms of digital eye strain are blurred vision, headaches, and dry, watery eyes. Guys, Blue Blocks was created to fix these problems and block out the blue light with high quality lenses. Taryn and I have the Maverick glasses. They're our absolute favorite. They are the silver wired Maverick glasses, and we're a big fan.
Big fans. So if you guys want to get your energy back, sleep better, and block out the unhealthy effects of blue light with Blue Blocks, you can get free shipping worldwide and 15% off by going to blueblocks.com/advice or enter code ADVICE at checkout.
That's blueblocks.com, BLUBLOX.com/advice, ADVICE for 15% off, or just use the code ADVICE. Welcome back to the podcast. This is Unsolicited Advice. I'm Ashley.
I'm Taryn.
And it's October series season.
It's here.
It's finally here.
It's freaking here.
It's been a year. I can't believe it's been a year
either.
Since our October series 2019. It is October series 2020, episode 1.
2020. So get your coffee, turn the lights off,
get a snack,
put some ambience in the room.
Definitely light a candle.
Get freaking ready because it is
October series. Lightning, thunder.
Push the spooky button.
Oh, which one's the spooky?
It's the top left.
Oh, shoot. Just ruined the entire vibe that we. No.
Okay.
The guys, the soundboard is on my side finally, and I am in control of the buttons. So when I say no, I mean no.
Well,
that's all. Guys, I have never felt more proud of you guys.
Oh, yeah.
You guys came through. When we said we needed stories, y'all showed up with stories, and we couldn't be more proud of you guys. Never in my life have I had listeners, viewers, anyone come through the way you guys came through this year. We have so many October series stories. These stories are flooding in. We are overwhelmed. We don't know how to respond. There's too many. The other day, I laid in bed for the longest time just reading through a bunch of them. Yeah, because I was like, there's so many. I wonder, and I sat down and I went through so many, favorited a couple, and still went through, had a ton more. I'm not even caught up. Are you caught up? Did you go? Nah,
not at all.
It's impossible.
But I feel like I'm finally in spooky season officially. So I've been kind of drawing it out because now I'm in it mentally. So now I'm starting to dive through stories.
Oh my God. It really does set the vibe when you let me paint a picture for you. This morning, I read a few this morning and my routine, my morning, I got up, I had my whole morning routine, got in bed, pulled out my laptop and just read a few of your stories, and wow. It really got me on a good spooky kick for the rest of the day. Also, we happen to be recording on October 1st, which is just
so freaking fitting.
Yeah, it's 105 degrees outside, but
yeah.
Other than that, we're very excited about it.
And we're if you're watching YouTube, shout out YouTube peeps.
Shout out YouTube people.
We are in our fleece skeleton onesies.
It's very sweaty.
Our first promo video, which is freaking coming at you live. I don't know what started the whole promo video thing, but I could not be. Honestly, it's my favorite thing I think I've ever been a part of.
I think we just knew we were going to dress up for the episodes, and then we were like, why don't we create a promotional video with said costumes for the episodes?
Yeah.
And then, of course, Taryn and I just can't hold back and went full force.
No.
We had so much fun talking with you guys. We were so pumped for 2020's October series that we hopped on socials and reposted all of 2019's October series. And your guys' responses and just reactions about how pumped you are for 2020 series got us so just so happy and excited that you guys are just as into this as we are. It's not just us, it very much feels like it's just us because it's always us in front of the camera and us. We're the ones doing the weird stuff, but you guys are just as weird as us.
You're just as weird as us.
And we live for it. It makes us very excited. So
also, like, there's this pressure I felt this year because last year was so good. And still to this day, we get emails that are like, hey, like, I just found your podcast. I'm binging the like October series. I'm obsessed. Oof. So, yeah, definitely this year, like watching back our promo videos from last year, listening back to episodes, I'm like, we got to freaking bring it.
Yeah.
And honestly, Ash, I don't know about your story, but my story's legit.
These stories are great. You guys have sent so many. I feel like there's a huge wide range of just some chill ones, some short ones that are actually really terrifying, but they're like really short. And then some very lengthy ones where you get all the details. Of course, I always go towards the detailed, lengthy ones. Oh,
yeah. Same,
but yeah, you guys sent them all in and we can't be more excited.
Yeah. If you are just tuning in and you're like, what is this podcast about? Today's obviously, sorry, I can't talk. Obviously going to be a little bit different. Usually we have our people listening send in stories that they want advice on or just want to start a discussion on, and we give our unprofessional, unbiased response. But we obviously, as you can tell from how we've been talking, we're obsessed with October scary stories. We're definitely like true crime fans. So last October, we decided to like go in for the first October episode, and we've never turned back. It's become a thing. So you are joining us on our October series, but we definitely recommend binging all our episodes because we're amazing. Okay. I think we should just get into it because my story is like literally like a movie.
Okay. I am dying.
I know.
I'm sweating so onesies. Bad.
Well, and now we're filming. Like before we would like put the freaking blinds down, like be in our little comfy, cozy cave. I know. But you guys have been asking so much for videos back. So we were like, all right, we'll film today. And now we're facing this like window with sunlight coming in.
I'm concerned for like the second this is over because I'm already sweating so bad. And this is like a cheap fleece lined thing. I know when I take it off, I'm going to be covered in like black fuzz everywhere.
Swamp butt.
Yeah. I know these things. Swamp butt. Okay. So let's go ahead and get into it. Do you want to go last? Do you want to go first?
I can go either.
Okay. I'm ready. Why don't you go first?
Okay.
Oh my God. Okay. I'm so pumped because she's been talking about the story for a while. So.
I'm a sucker for when it's written like a movie, especially with like thematic stuff. Like this is very, we'll give advice on like what we would have done in this scenario, but this is very much like he puts you, notice that it's a guy. I know.
10%.
He puts you like, you are there. You're feeling what they're feeling. It's just, he writes so beautifully.
My God. Okay.
All right. Hi, Taryn and Ashley.
Hey.
Here's a story from one of your devoted male listeners. Devoted. Ooh. That's a great word.
That's a great word.
Like, honestly, I'm honored
we
that
love you, too.
You want to devote yourself mutual. To us. Yes. I love your energy, and the weekly advice is always something to look forward to. Thanks for the great podcast. Honored. My parents are total gym rats and love to get their fitness on at 5 a.m. or earlier.
Ugh.
Like, honestly, barf, but like good for them.
5?
It's too early. This particular morning was one of those. My older sister, we'll call her Anna, got up shortly after my parents had left for the gym to get ready for school. It was 5:30 a.m. and dark outside. As Anna was getting ready in the bathroom, the lights went off. Thinking this could be due to her curling iron and blow dryer blowing a fuse, she went upstairs to my parents' master bathroom to continue getting ready. Shortly after being in their bathroom, the lights turned off again. This time she thought it was a little odd because she hadn't plugged in anything. Sitting in the dark bathroom and feeling a little spooked, she picked up our landline telephone and tried calling my mom's cell phone. She could hear her cell phone ringing. My mom had left her phone plugged into the charger. From there, she decided to call my dad's cell phone from the landline. But as it's ringing, the phone line was cut. I can't. Anna got really nervous, trying to piece together what was happening. Luckily, mom's cell phone was nearby. She ran from the bathroom to the master bedroom and grabbed my mom's cell phone and tried to call dad again and again. Dad didn't answer. But what was scarier than not being able to get a hold of our parents was the fact that as my sister was standing in my parents' bedroom, the lights went out.
Oh no. Oh God.
My sister was terrified. She ran from the master to my younger sister's room on the second floor to wake her up. As she woke her up, she whispered to her, wake up. I think someone's in the basement messing with the fuse box. To be sure that it wasn't faulty power, she did not turn on the lights as she walked into Emma's room. The hair stood up on the back of her neck as the power was evidently cut from Em's room when she watched her alarm clock go from reading 5:37 to black. I can't.
My God.
This is like the fourth room, right?
Yeah.
I can't. Anna and Em sat in the dark bedroom contemplating what to do. Quickly and quietly, they came to the bedroom next door to wake up me and my baby brother. I was disoriented and didn't believe what they were saying at first, but quickly heard the fear and urgency in her voice as she explained what happened. Together, we walked down the stairs to the one room that still had light, the living room. Conveniently, the living room was next to the front door. In hushed whispers, In hushed whispers, we contemplated what we should do. Should we leave? Where would we go? Should we stay and wait for mom and dad? Should we call the police? Should we investigate? Our thoughts were interrupted by the lights of the living room turning off.
Oh,
I want to die. I want to die.
How are they still in there?
Now I want to die.
I would have bolted.
Yeah. The entire house is now dark and without power. My younger brother and sister were quietly crying in the darkness. Out of nowhere, Anna stands up, tiptoed from the living room around the corner to the kitchen, and grabs a knife. I followed behind her asking, "What are you doing?" Anna looked at me, knife in hand. "I'm going to the basement to check things out," she hissed.
Ooh, girl.
First of all,
she brave.
Props, but
I'm so proud, but also I don't know if I could do that.
Nah. The basement door was a few steps and a half level down from the kitchen. As she slowly walked from the kitchen to the steps leading to the basement door, I had a sickening feeling come over me. Every horror movie and a bit of common sense screamed this was a bad idea. Anna extended her hand, slightly reaching for the door. She paused for a second, and we all sat there in eerie silence. In a series of hand motions, I charaded, "No, no, no."
Yeah. Yeah, no kidding.
Seriously. The same dreadful feeling must have come over her. I watched the color drain from her face, and she backed away from the door, back to the living room. Quietly, she said, "We need to leave." We all exited the front door and ran to our neighbor's house. It's 6 a.m., still dark, but morning light was coming. I'm sure he loved us for waking him up, but he invited us to wait for our parents there until they got home. A few minutes later, my neighbor and Anna decided to walk around our house to see if there were any broken windows or anything strange. Nothing. From there, they even went back inside, checked the other doors. Finding nothing wrong, they felt confident to go to the basement. After a quick look around and finding nothing, they went to the breaker box, opening it to see all of the switches were flipped. They then returned to the neighbor's house, and we just waited for mom and dad. Mom and dad came home shortly and were trying to make us feel better, saying we were overreacting. It was just bad power, nothing to worry about. So we got ready and left for school. While we were gone, Mom was home alone and still scared. She called a neighbor from our church who was also an electrician to come over and just look at the breaker box to get some peace of mind. After a quick look at the breaker, he came to my mom and said, "I don't mean to scare you, but if the power was turned off due to bad electricity or a blown fuse, the switches would be reset in the middle." However, these switches were all manually flipped all the way to off.
Oh my God. No. And like they were going from room to room, and that was the room that was turning out. It was too intentional. Oh my God. I have full body chills.
He wrote chills in all caps. We've speculated a lot about different scenarios of how someone could have gotten into our basement. Our only conclusion was that an intruder could have possibly snuck into the house the night before, as we had left our garage door open until really late that night before we closed it, and then fled from our front door after the events of the morning. Or maybe it wasn't human. However it might have happened, it gives me chills knowing that someone was there the whole night before and hiding until the morning, toying with us and our fears in the darkness of the morning. Thank goodness we did not investigate. Thanks for taking the time to read this novel-sized story. Have a fun and safe spooky season.
Oh, anonymous.
Oh my God.
Whoa. That's terrifying.
Dude, I can't. I would have died.
What really messes with me is stuff like this never happens in the morning.
No.
Like I know 5's early, 6 is early, but it's still like that's living hours. Like that's like people are out, people are awake, people are doing things. This stuff happens at like midnight or like super late at night. You know,
when
like
your
not
parents
like,
are gone.
Yeah. In the morning would completely throw me off because I would just be doing my own like morning thing, you know? Oh, anonymous.
The fact that it's like
the big sister grabbing the knife.
Oh my God, no. Like,
what a hero.
The thing is like, I know if that were me, especially when my brothers were younger, I would definitely feel that sense of like, I have to protect them.
For sure.
I definitely don't think I would have gone down to check.
I would have grabbed the knife. I wouldn't have gone anywhere near the basement. Definitely have the weapon like in hand on person, but I wouldn't go trying to find the guy.
Oh my gosh. But like
going to the neighbor's house was the right call.
Even if he was trying to just create a scary scenario so they left so he could get out, he still was in there all night, which is terrifying. And the fact that he was like toying with like room by room by room instead of just shutting off all the power.
Yeah,
like
that's psychotic.
It was either like a sicko or it was the unknown.
The unknown.
I can't. I just want to say, Anonymous, you freaking set it up for this series. I love how you wrote that.
Absolutely nailed it. That was a beautifully written story.
Yeah. No. Literally, while I was reading that the first time, my phone went off really loud and I legit screamed because I was so into like the progression of the story.
For sure. I was reading through some stories and one of the girls put at the very top while she was writing her story, something scared her, like in her, I think it was her cat, something like spooked her and she like jumped like because she was just writing and like reliving her story. Yeah. And it puts you in the mood. And then her cat like bumped her or something like that.
Yeah,
and she
it's
said
just
she freaked
that
out.
Suspense feeling where your heart, like you're hanging on every word because you're like, what's going to happen? Like, love it. Addicted to that feeling. Whew,
That was good.
Guys, we're officially in it. October series has started. Our first story. So, I think we all are we've upped our screen time. We've upped our TV, especially our phone, our computer usage. It's pretty bad.
Honestly, life-giving though.
Honestly, it's how we stay sane. But there can be some effects that come with that. It can affect your sleep. It can affect your mood. And that is blue light, Ash. But don't worry, we have a fix. And that is Blue Blocks.
Guys, Blue Blocks was created to fix all of these problems. Digital eye strain, blurred visions, headaches, dry, watery eyes. It fixes everything because you don't know it. But this blue light is affecting you 24/7 because you're on your screens 24/7. Unlike any other types of blue light glasses, Blue Blocks are evidence-backed and made under optics laboratory conditions in Australia.
Love that.
Blue Blocks was created to change this with high quality lenses for daytime, nighttime, and for color therapy, exactly in line with a suggested peer review from academic literature. They have over 40 hip frames and come in prescription, non-prescription, and readers, so they have frames for absolutely everyone. Taryn and I think I mentioned this already, but we have the Mavericks. Yes. We're big fans of the Mavericks.
So cute.
Even if I am not on my screen, let's say like I didn't get ready that day or something like that, I'll just throw those on because it genuinely, like, it just completes my look. It makes me look like I tried. And that's all I need in life.
Yeah. Just the appearance of trying. If you guys would like to get your energy back, sleep better, and block out the unhealthy effects of blue light with Blue Blocks, you can get free shipping worldwide and 15% off by going to blueblocks.com/advice or enter code ADVICE at checkout.
That's BLUBLOX.com/advice for 15% off, or just use the code ADVICE.
I'm ready for you, Ash.
Oh, good. I was about 10 when this story occurred. I had been standing with my mom. She put mom. Cute.
Mom.
waiting for her to finish talking to her friends. While waiting, I overheard one of them mention this particular red car. I didn't think much of it, but when I got back to the car, my mom turned to me and said, "Be careful." I remember feeling quite puzzled. "Be careful of what?" I asked her. Then my mother told me that around our local area for the past few weeks, there has been a red car that would see children walking home or going from school and asking them if they wanted a ride.
No.
Many children had obviously said no, but a few had said yes.
No.
This is where my mom stopped talking. I asked her, what if they say yes? And she didn't say anything for a few seconds and just told me, "Effie, be careful and never say yes." Like those things you tell your kids, when you're growing up, never talk to strangers. That kind of thing. I was going
to say, but see, the thing is like people like that, they know exactly what to say. Like, "Oh, your mom, something happened at work. Like, she sent me to,
Your mom called. I'm your ride." Yeah,
oh,
stuff like that.
Dear God.
After that incident between my mom and I never thought back on it again until a few months later. I had to walk home from school that day. This was no trouble for me. I would catch the bus and then make a short walk on my way home. I had done this many times before. Never had I ever felt unsure of walking, but that day I did. I got off the bus and started to walk home and immediately started feeling uneasy.
Ugh.
I looked around and it seemed I was the only one walking home from the bus stop that day.
Of course. I can't.
I brushed off the feeling due to the fact that no other people were around. As I continued walking, I felt that someone was watching me. I began to feel sick and started speeding up my pace. However, it was still and quiet all around me. This somehow made it feel even worse. I started running home as fast as I could, not stopping for anything. I gripped the keys in my pocket as I ran to the front door. I quickly shoved the keys into the door and ran inside, slamming and locking the door behind me. Good girl.
Good.
I then watched out the glazed windows in the front porch. To my horror, a red car slowly drives past.
No.
I thought in my head, "Oh, it's just any old red car. Don't be ridiculous." And then I watch it stop at the front of my house and watch a man slowly get out.
No. Oh my God.
I have chills.
Oh my God, this is my nightmare.
He slowly started making his way up our path. My body was against the door and I was filled with fear. I then felt 3 large bangs on the door. I felt my body shake with every single knock. I didn't open the door. I didn't say a word. I just remained still and prayed to God that it would stop. It had gone completely still, and I thought that this man must be gone.
Oh, dear God.
I went to stand up, but before I could even sit up, I hear small tapping on the glass.
No.
And in thick, dark words, a man says, "I know you're home. Open the door for me, and you can have a friend."
What?
I stayed very still and waited for it to stop.
He said what?
After about 10 minutes, I can see his shadow through the glass.
Oh my God.
I saw the shadow leave, and I waited a further 10 minutes before I even moved again. After that, I grabbed the home phone and called my mother and was told to stay at the neighbor's house until she arrived home. I don't know what happened after that, and to this day, I don't know what would have happened if I didn't run home the second I felt uneasy, or that if I didn't open the door and slam it and lock it right behind me, what would have happened.
I'm gonna throw up.
Thanks for letting me tell this story. P.S. To this day, I don't know what happened to those kids who said yes to get into the car. My mom still wouldn't say when I asked her a year ago, but truth be told, I doubt I really want to know, and neither do you. I think the answer is very clear, what they would have done to small children, but I don't feel like mentioning it today, which I get. There better be some kind of killer dad joke after the end of this episode if my story is being read. Thanks again, Effie. That's horrifying.
Please read again what he said, because that's the weirdest thing I've ever heard in my entire life. Like, of all the things he could say.
Okay. He said, "I went to stand up before I could even sit up. I hear small tapping on the glass, and in thick, dark words, a man says, 'I know you're home. Open the door for me, and you can have a friend.'"
I can't. That's what is that?
That is demented.
You can have a friend.
That is evil. That is vile. I do not like that in any way. But
oh my God,
I want to just stand and like freaking applaud Effie for trusting her gut instinct.
Yes.
She didn't see anybody. She didn't see a car, but she knew something was wrong and she ran home. And that is what we all need to do.
Okay.
That is number one. Like if you feel uneasy, you trust that and you do what you have to do. And if there was no one there and you were completely safe the whole time, it's fine, but it's better to be safe than sorry.
Worst case, you look like a frantic idiot to people you'll never see again.
But also if no one's around,
that's true.
Who freaking cares? It just run.
I believe God gives us those little nudges deep in your little tummies. And it's always like she felt uneasy right away before. And there was even a sign of anything.
Yeah.
And so every time you hear horrible things that happen, there's always that just tiny comment mixed in the story of like, I felt uneasy, but I went anyways. I felt weird about this guy, but I dated him anyways. Like you have to trust your gut. And I am so glad you are okay. That's freaking terrifying. And I've only had that happen once at my parents' house. They have the glass on their doors.
Yes.
Why was that such a popular thing? Like that's a horrible idea.
I thought about that while I was reading this also. I was like, I wonder if she was like crouched against the door and he was tapping the glass above, or was there a window next to her?
No, I think she's saying because
she was crouched down because she said stand up to see.
Yes. A lot of older doors, my parents' house included, have like the glass. It's like just like a little pane of glass. But yeah, if you're trying to like hide from someone. Oh. And I had one time there, it was like a delivery guy, but I saw him coming from like the alleyway and he just looked so sketchy and he kept like looking around before he was walking up to my door. So I did the same thing. Like I crouched down and he like knocked and eventually like left the package and went. But I was like trapped because I'm like, I can't stand up because he'll see me. Like he's literally right above me.
Yeah. I mean, our house here is glass. Yeah. And I've thought about that multiple times. My parents, I've never had anything horrible or scary happen at my parents' house, but their door has no glass whatsoever. And I always felt very safe there. However, for whatever reason, like our door has an extra large peephole. Like it's just extra big to where if you're outside, I used to do it all the time when I was a kid. I would kind of like peek when I was waiting. I would knock and I'd like look through the peephole and you could see when someone walked in front. You could see
movement.
Yeah. You couldn't see who it was or make out their face, but you could see their shadow. And there was a couple times there was this one specific time where I remember someone knocking repeatedly and no one being home, and I didn't want to open the door, but they wouldn't stop knocking. Yeah. And I remember being uncomfortable. So I like creeped to the door to listen, but I knew like I had to crawl. Otherwise they'd see me through the peephole. Yeah. So I couldn't imagine glass that fully gives you away.
But this is just a prime reason. Like when you have kids, you have to come up with a safe word. Yeah. Like if never get in anyone's car, never go with anyone, never talk to anyone unless they say barnacle or like something so random. Yeah, that's not going to come up in any like normal conversation. So that way, like if you did ever have to send like a family friend because there was an emergency or whatever, that there was like some type of safe word that they know, oh, it's okay to get in. And anyone else who tells you anything literally is a no. Like you run, you scream, whatever, like make a ruckus so it scares the person to leave right away.
It's what you got to do, and I have never been more proud of someone, Effie. So thanks for sending that in.
Those words will forever haunt me.
Oof, I could literally hear it, the tapping on the glass.
Friend,
and you can have a friend.
Ew. I hate that. I hate it.
Absolutely not.
Oh my God. Hey guys, we just wanted to take a second to just say thank you for being a part of our little Unsolicited Advice family.
We love you guys so much, and it would mean so much to us if you would rate, review, subscribe, and share our podcast. Spread the word, spread the love.
Yes.
Give advice to everyone. Advice for you, advice for your mom, advice for your friends. Change the world. Help us get the word out there. And that would mean so much to us. And back to the show.
These stories were so good.
These were a great first start to our October series. You guys, Taryn and I are we have never been more proud of you guys ever. So thank you so much for sending in those stories.
Yes.
We are so pumped because we put out a video in our costumes that we're wearing today. We're not full costume right now, obviously. It's quarantine and like that's a lot of work. We're going to be honest.
Yeah.
But we have created a very fun promo video. We would greatly appreciate it if you go check it out, like it, leave us a little comment. What should they comment?
The ghost emoji. It's my favorite.
Ghost emoji. Why don't you go ahead and comment ghost emoji in wherever you see the video? There's probably going to be, well, it might be everywhere.
Yeah.
On all the socials. So go comment a ghost so we know that you, our listeners, saw it.
And definitely, like, I would definitely encourage everyone, because me and Ash like thrive in this season. Like, it's our favorite season, and we both, like, right before it was starting, we kind of talked with each other, and we were like, okay, we're super bummed that like life is not normal right now.
Yes,
but we were like, we're gonna be so intentional to make it feel like it is. So we have like, you know, an LED light behind our TV. And so we put it to orange. We've been like baking. Well, Ash has been baking. I've been eating, baking like holiday treats, like
lighting all the candles.
Watching movies, fall scents. So maybe even like Zoom with your friends and like listen to the episode together and like talk about it. Like do stuff that's intentional to like feel like you're doing fun Halloween stuff, even though, you know,
make a whole thing out of it. There's a huge community of you guys. And I feel like we could even like after the episode drops, we should all just like hop on and just talk to each other and talk about it.
That. Yeah. We should maybe even in like the YouTube comments, we can like,
let's all just sit and chat.
Oh my God, I would
That'd be so fun.
This kind of, it's not the same, but it reminded me of where I thought someone was following me.
Oh.
I don't know if I've even told you this
I
story.
don't know if I've heard it.
Okay. So.
Like following while walking or driving?
No, like stalking.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't think I've heard of this.
Okay. So when I was like, I think my very, very first job was I worked at Red Robin in
Clucks and Fries.
I think, bro, so good. In I think it was the Garden Grove one, the one by Disneyland down there. You know, and like it's like all
I know
those
exactly the one you're talking about.
Yeah, there's like all those hotels around it and stuff. So I worked out there, but I went to school in like Fullerton. So it was like it was not super far, but it was like far enough.
Especially during traffic, that's far.
Yeah. So one day, it was when I first started going clubbing. So I was coming home from like clubbing and I was so tired. So I was at the stoplight right before turning into like my dorm room. And I fell asleep and rolled into the car in front of me. So literally we were both stopped at the light and the light was taking long. So I barely tapped it, but I'd never been in like an accident or anything and I freaked out. Ooh. So anyways, the guy gets out of the car and I just remember like he was very like distinctive. Like he was bald and he just had this very like specific kind of creepy vibe.
Yeah.
So we get out and I was like crying. I was like, I'm so sorry. Because all I could think about was I have to tell my dad this and I'm going to get in trouble. So
I'd be scared to tell Mr. E too.
Yeah. So he looks at our cars and he's like, there's no damage. It's okay. But just to be safe, like let's exchange information. So I didn't know what that meant. And so he asked for, he was like, well, let me see like your driver's license. Let me see all this stuff, which apparently like you're not supposed to exchange that. Like you exchange like insurance information and things like that.
And like a number.
Yeah.
A contact number.
But he took my license that has like all my information. And I remember being a little weirded out because I gave it to him and he didn't give me anything back. And he took a long time to like copy what was on it. Yeah. And so I remember being
he's copying
like,
more than he needs to.
Yeah. I remember being weirded out, but I was like, okay, like whatever. And in my mind, I was like, well, I don't live at that address right now. So like, I should be fine, like whatever. So I go on with my life. I never hear from him. So I was like, whew, like dodge that bullet. Yeah. And then one day I'm at work in Garden Grove and I start walking towards the front because I was a hostess and I look out the window and I see this guy.
Oh.
And he's walking just like super like slow and kind of creepy. And so my whole, like it was that gut thing. Like I knew, I was like, this is not a coincidence. Like my like, color drained from my face. I was freaking out. So I hid in this place like by the bar and I just watched and my manager came over and was like, what's going on? And I was like, I can't go up there. Like have a weird feeling about this guy. And she's like, okay, no worries. Like we'll cover your tables for a minute. So I watched him and he walked in the lobby and he like he just was like scanning the entire store and just stood there like watching for a while. And then all of a sudden, like he like stopped and then he just like walked out and left.
Oh, absolutely not.
I literally had the chef, like one of the chefs I was like close with, he like walked me to my car like every night because I was so scared that like he had like followed me.
Oh, for sure. If he knew where you worked.
Yeah, but I never saw him again.
Oh, that's not a coincidence. No, that's scary.
Yes.
But
thank you,
did
Jesus.
you did a good thing telling the chef.
Yeah, I was like, not this little
Absolutely
guy.
Not. Absolutely
I got
not.
my eyes on you. Yeah. So
Guys,
that's one of my scary stories.
That's terrifying.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry you experienced
I don't
that.
like that.
Knock on wood. Nothing's happened to me
Knock
yet.
on that wood, Ash. All right.
I know what you guys are thinking. You probably thinking that it's too late to send an October series. You're wrong. You can totally send one in. We're still going to be checking the email and scanning through and reading a bunch of them. And if we find any ones that are just extra good, maybe we'll read those instead. So it's definitely not too late. So if you have one, you know someone, send them in.
I have the only thing I have prepped for the remaining episodes is my costume and my dad jokes. I don't have any more stories. So yeah, please send in.
Please send them all.
We want them. All right,
dad
you ready?
joke. Yep, I'm ready.
I don't know if I said one of these sounds a little familiar. You can tell me. I have multiple. So
okay.
Why didn't the coffee bean go to the Halloween party?
The coffee bean?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because it was grounded.
Oh man. Dang it. I was like,
it's so good.
It's steeping.
I'm going to say one more.
Sprouting.
Why did the ghoul... Oh, shoot. I'm so sorry I messed that up. I hate when you mess up a joke because you're like, it's not going to be as funny. Like it failed.
Say it
what did the ghoul say to the vampire?
I don't know.
You really suck.
Wait, how did you mess that up?
No, I messed up the flow.
Oh, got it.
I stuttered.
It was like you didn't mess anything up.
Yeah.
Guys, thank you so much for listening to our October series 2020 first episode.
Episode 1.
Very stoked to be back. Very stoked for the spooky season. I know this whole year has been weird, but what I agree with what Taryn said. Like, let's make the most out of this month.
Yes.
And really stay in community and connect with each other and just, go full out.
Yeah.
Go full out. Thank you so much for listening. Be sure to like, rate, review, subscribe, share this episode to any of your friends that also enjoy scary stories.
Love that.
And we will talk to you guys for October series 2020 episode 2.
Bye.
Bye.